Hey guys, my name is Luke and welcome back to this series of living a purpose-driven life. This is episode 2. In the last episode, if you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it now or this will make no sense. But in the last episode, we were talking about or asking the question of, do we have a purpose? So right now, we're going to work on the basis of we're believing that we may have a purpose. There may be something to what it is that I'm saying. Now, based on that, we're going to talk about in this episode of, well, what is purpose? If we have it, then what is it? See, now, growing up, we got asked this question that kind of links into purpose, but really also pushes us away from it at the same time. And the question that we mostly get asked when we were growing up is this: what do you want to be when you're older? What do you want to be when you were growing up? What it kind of says, and if you're like me, you hated that question. 1, because you didn't know, and 2, it came with an interesting language and position was, well, who do you want to be? See, and what it got linked to was your job or your profession. Where actually the question should be, or what the question should have been in that, is in terms of in what area do you see yourself working? But it's interesting that they tie our identity into what it is that we do, which links actually into what is purpose. So in the last episode, we spoke about, well, the purpose of a clock is to serve the time. The purpose of the camera is to capture video. The purpose of the mic is to capture audio. Well, if we ask the question of, what is purpose then? Then purpose is ultimately something that we produce. That's the first take. The first thing that I want you to understand is that purpose is something that you produce. So just like this mic, its purpose is to collect the audio. It produces that. It produces that ability based on what's within it, its software, its components. It produces an ability. It produces an ability to produce something that serves a purpose. So what does that look like for us? Well, it looks like this, is that purpose is linked to ourselves, not just what's on the outside. If anything, purpose is more about what's within us than what's on the outside of us. See, if purpose is about producing things, then it comes from within, not from without. So that's the first thing that I want us to think about, is that purpose is about producing something based on an ability that you have within you. The next point that I want to make is, so purpose is about producing something, and it's producing something based on your ability. Okay, great. But what is it that it produces in order for it to be true purpose? Well, purpose has to produce value. I want you to write that down for me, that my purpose will produce value. Let's go back to everything that I've said, is that within everything, if it's its true purpose, then it will bring value to something else or to someone in my life. So the clock produces the ability to tell the time, and I know that's its purpose because it gives me value. It helps me in my life, so I'm able to measure, I'm able to make sure that this video isn't too long. It produces value. In the same way, the camera's purpose, to capture video, I know that's its purpose. I know it wasn't here to fly in the sky, because it flying in the sky would produce no value to me. Its ability to capture video provides me value, and that's why I know it's linked to its true purpose and fulfillment. So that's the next thing I want you to understand. So far we've got that, so purpose is something that is produced from the inside of us, and purpose is also whatever gets produced, produces something of value outside of itself. So that's how we are so far. And the last one is this, is that true purpose produces value for other people. It produces value for other people And it's a part of, and we touched on this in series 1, it's a part of a collective purpose. A collective purpose. That's what true purpose is about. It produces something of great value for a collective purpose. And what is that collective purpose? That collective purpose is something that is working towards the good of others. That is moving creation forward for the better. So if we look at some examples of some people, to come away from the cameras and the lights and the clocks, let's take somebody that we know was influential, Martin Luther King. Now we all know the famous speech that he said, "I have a dream that one day people would not be judged based on the color of their skin." In a nutshell, that was the dream that he had. In other words, what you could say is that his dream was his purpose. His dream was the thing in him that produced great value for the common good, or the collective purpose for moving creation forward for the common good. Does that make sense? So you can see that I would say personally that the purpose of Martin Luther King on earth was to produce the dream, or to bring the dream on the inside of him, the purpose on the inside of him, out of him, into the world, to produce the value, to bring value, and to make the world a better place. In every single one of us, both me, myself and you, have something within us that we call purpose, that if we just identify it and we understand it, then we will live our lives to get it from on the inside of us to the outside of us on the rest of our journey. So let this be true, is that on the inside of you, there is purpose. You won't find your purpose in the world, and we're going to talk about that in the next series. You will not find your purpose in the world. You'll find your purpose within you. And your job is to find it, to identify it, and to produce it and to live it out. So it brings great value and works collectively to bring humanity forward and to create a better world for the rest of us. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope this has helped you to identify what purpose is and what it isn't. And I would love to know more about what you think about the topic in the comment section below. And let me know if you have found your purpose and what that is. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And like always, leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when our next video is. And if you want to go back and watch the first episode of the series, then go and do that now. Or if you want to click anywhere on the screen, you can go and watch another episode from one of our other speakers here, Aim a Little Higher. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.